Hey, what is up guys, GuitarRock here. Welcome back to another Snowbreak Containment Zone video. Alright, I know I'm a bit late to talking about this new event and the new character Haru, but hey, got busy a couple of days ago. Plenty of things have happened, so let's talk about her. Hopefully give you guys my perspective on Haru overall as a character, whether or not you should be pulling for her, and why I personally will not be pulling on her. So let's jump into it. Now, first things first, let's talk about Haru overall. So you have an option to try her out right here in the early trial. There's also an outfit for Haru altogether. There's multiple outfits actually. The Fanny one, Stinging Rose, and this is the Frostbite Flora. So make sure you guys do all the trials to get the rewards. I've still yet to done mine. But let's talk about this new character, if she's going to be worth your hard-earned DG cash. Now, Haru has a very unique and interesting concept. I believe she's the first character in the game to do something that I believe no other character has yet. Alright, so what is that all about? It's in her ability to use or spam her skills, right? So I thought this is pretty interesting. She basically has multiple charges in the special skill and ultimate skill. So first things first, let's talk about her standard special skill, right? She has 5 chargers, as you can see, and this is going to have a cooldown of 6.5 seconds, and she will basically perform 3 slices every time. She does kinetic damage up to 5 enemy targets in the front, right? Now there's a passive as well. After she hits a target, standard skill cooldown decreased by 2 seconds and 2 S energy is restored. So it makes it very spammable. It's a good and a bad thing. The good thing is if there's lots of enemies, lots of waves coming out, you can spam this like crazy. However, if there's like one enemy or there's like a single enemy, it might not be that good per se, right? But still, overall, she's going to be a solid character with how spammable her skills are generally. Now, as for her support skill, this one hits targets with slash 3 times, alright, dealing more kinetic damage, and you can see it's going to scale off 50% of attack and 129% of attack as well. So this is going to be further improved if you can obtain her neural skills. And last but not least, the ultimate skill. Look at this essay right here. So I'm not going to read this entire thing, but I'm just going to show you guys what this ultimate skill basically is trying to tell you, right? So this is Haru, as you guys can see. A very cool concept character. She is a pistol user, but don't be too worried about her guns, because ultimately you should be spamming her skill as follows, right? You can see this stage is basically make her look kind of strong in a way, right? So you can see I can spam my skill, just like that. It's very spammable. Like, look at that. I can spam as long as there's enemies. I mean, preferably you hit an enemy. If you do not hit an enemy, it's like a waste. So that's just her regular standard skill. Alright, so it's pretty spammable, and you can see right now at the E skill, it does recover over time, and you can hold up to 5 charges. Now let's talk about her ultimate skill then. What her ultimate skill does is it makes it so that her standard skill does not have those charge. So let me activate my ultimate skill, which is this particular one. Okay, so now you can see I have this 50 timer starts at the screen in front of me, right? So every time I spam my standard skill, alright, it's going to minus off from there. Wait, I think it's consuming 2. You can see right here. Yeah, it's consuming 2 points. So that thing is the points. It makes my skill much more spammable, and I can use ultimate skill again, bigger range, to basically spam the enemies in the area. So once you finish the state, all it does is you're gonna enter your ultimate skill is gonna enter into cooldown, and you're gonna be able to spam your standard skill all over again. So you gotta be careful with this standard skill. If you hit somewhere where there's no enemies, you don't get the additional points per se. But it's a very fun playstyle for sure. I like it. She doesn't rely as much on her guns, right? It's actually very spammable. You can like spam it like crazy. I mean, like, if you don't hit an enemy, of course it will increase the cooldown, but every time you are able to kill an enemy, you will get the points back in return. Alright, which is why This stage is just it's kind of designed for her, alright, make her look strong in a way, right? But overall her concept is very cool, right? It's something that I don't think we have in the game yet. Most other characters, they rely on their guns, but not Haru as much. So very interesting concept for sure. Now let's talk about her weakness then. So this is going to be her strengths. So what is going to be her issue? Right now, as I can think of, one of the main one is going to be when we are fighting against bosses. Alright, when you're fighting a single enemy, a single boss, obviously it's going to depend. Some bosses might have multiple parts that you can try to spam the skill, maybe, but it does seem like she won't be able to spam it as much because it relies on her killing the enemy to give back some of the points, right, and to be able to spam her ultimate. Overall, if there's like a single boss, I can see her not being as strong compared to some other character that specialize in getting rid of bosses, for example like Yao, alright, Winter Solstice. Let's talk a little bit about her competition then. Like, if you guys are not aware, before Haru, we have, I'm sure all of you guys are aware, Chensing. So Chensing Ethereal Cloud has a very similar concept, alright, where she has this concept of, you know, doing AoE damage to small minions in the area, right? Ideally, very, very good against multiple enemies, like much more of an AoE character, but against bosses might not be their strongest suit. So if you pull for Chensing, and if you already have her build, Haru is gonna feel very, very similar. Now they are both very, very strong, but they sort of feel the same role. They are not different enough to justify for you to have both. Like, that's just my honest opinion, especially if you are free to play, right? They are both damage dealers that specializes in, you know, dealing with multiple enemies in the area. So whereas, like, for example, the first banner, Akasha, at least she's much more of a, you know, staple support where she can like try to AoE the enemies and basically apply some sort of like a suction towards the enemy in a way. She feels kind of unique in that sense, right? Now ultimately, if you're pulling for Haru, just make sure to know that in advance, she's going to be a very fun character to use. Her skills are very spammable. She's more she's definitely, I can see that she's might be easier to use on mobile, right? If you play on mobile, I can see, you know, you don't have to, you know, use the guns as much, you don't have to rely on aiming as much, and just rely on spamming your skill. Also, kinetic weapon. Let's talk about her weapon a little bit. Some of you guys might have questioned, is it worth it to get her weapon, right? So we're talking about the Catalysm of Steel. Now this weapon is going to be the 16 Psych, right? So what this does is, as you can see, it also is a kinetic damage weapon, and ideally that's what you want on Haru. Alright, so increase your kinetic damage by 18%. That just straight up complements her. Alright, upon defeating a target using a standard skill, gain corrosion effect, and it's going to increase your attack by 4.2% for 5 seconds and up to 5 stacks. So that's up to 20% plus, which is a lot. Alright, 20% plus increase in attack, and you also apply all of this additional damage as well. This is a very strong weapon. So if you can afford this, definitely go for this weapon. But if you can't afford and you are free to play, I can understand that you would prefer to save for characters, right? So the current event definitely has a weapon that, you know, players will be able to get her with. As you can see right here in the Honest Beauty shop, the Wild Wasp Stinger. Now this particular weapon is not going to give you as much damage, alright? So as you can see, increase attack by 6%, but it's only 4 stacks, right? 24%. Again, same amount of attack, but the other weapon has additional kinetic damage and stuff. But this is going to be a decent weapon for sure. Keep in mind, it's still a 4-star. However, it's going to be way easier to be able to max out this weapon because, as you can see, you can purchase unlimited right here. You can buy additional dupes for the weapon if you want to get the what is that, limit break or ascension, whatever it's called in the game, right? Multiple dupes. It definitely helps. If you are free to play, I don't see why this would be a bad weapon overall for Haru. A Wild Wasp Stinger, something that you can consider, something that any player can consider. But yeah, you should be farming, try to empty out the shop. A lot of these things are definitely worth getting. And you can see also in the event, if you guys are not aware, make sure you guys are farming only the last event because the last event gives you the best return. If you are a new player, maybe you can't farm the last event, farm the second last event, but the last event you can see the stamina to currency ratio. You can see 30 stamina for 15 event currency. That means your ratio is every event currency will cost you 2 stamina, right? Whereas if you farm in the second last stage, for example, this one is like 24 to 11. It's not really 2 to 1 ratio. It's like 1 to 1.8 ratio. You're not getting 1 event currency for 2 stamina, right? And then same goes for this. You can see a 20. This one ideally should give you 10, but it's not. So it has less efficiency. 18 doesn't give you 9, it gives you 8. And these 2 stage, please don't farm this, alright? So the Silent Chaos and the Death's Door, not worth it. You can see 16 stamina gives you 7 event currency. The ratio is way less. And then the last one is this one, the Death's Door, first stage, 14 stamina only gives you 6 event currency. Again, hopefully you guys can do the last one. I think this should be doable for a lot of players. Enemy level is 65, right? It is what it is. If you are new, you can't farm any of the higher stages, understandable. But regardless, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what you guys think of Haru overall. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. As always, subscribe if you guys haven't already. Give this video a like. And make sure you guys follow me on Twitch to join on the Twitch drops. And there's Twitch drops going on right now. There's a chance that I could be streaming. So make sure you guys follow me there to watch for additional rewards. Alright, take care. Have a nice day. Goodbye.